Hi, in this tutorial I will show you how to configure a PLAN network. We will see how to set the address of a controller, for example address 1 and address 2, and how to set the address of a terminal with PGD 0 or PGD 1, for example address 32. And also we will see how to configure this terminal as shared for the controller address 1 and 2. Or from the point of view of the controller, how to set the Pico address 1 in order to use the terminal address 32 as shared, and the same for the Pico address 2. We can start setting the address of the PGD display. To do this, we have to press the up, down, enter keys for some seconds till appear this mask. And then use enter and up and down to change the address. So we have to set address 32 and then enter to save it in the memory. Now we have to set the address of the two Picos, address 1 and address 2. There are two ways to set the address of Pico. The first is available for all controllers. It requires a PGD 1 or PGD 0 display. We have temporarily to set it to 0. And then we have to power off, power on the controller. Power off and power on. Then press alarm up till appear a specific system mask. Okay, now press up down to set the address. I start with address 1 and press enter to save the address in the memory of the Pico. Obviously, you have to repeat for all other controllers. After that, we can set back the terminal with address 32. The new models of Pico, like this Pico 5, Pico 5 Plus and C-Pico, have a more convenient way to set the address. They have a specific display and a button. Push the button once to see the current address, press and hold down for a couple of seconds to enter in editing. So press the button to change the address and wait some seconds to save it. When the number starts flashing faster, means that the value is saved in the memory. Okay, the value is saved. Now I'm ready to install the configuration of the terminal. Terminal 32 is shared for the Pico address 1 and Pico address 2. To do this, you can press, like before, the up, down, enter keys. By the way, if you press for 10 seconds, you enter in this mask. This is a diagnostic mask. It shows 4 lines with 8 characters, so you can see the status of all 32 units. We can see that the unit 1 and 2 are online, the square represents a Pico, and then all others are not connected, and the last, address 32, is a terminal, so that symbol is a terminal. In fact, this is itself. So exit, enter again. I recommend you, before to start to configure the two Pico, to disconnect them and leave only the Pico you are configuring, or at least power off it. Because if you leave them on, they could interfere with others. Okay, use enter, enter, up, down to select the Pico we want to configure. You can see that you can select only 1 and 2 because they are the only addresses corresponding to Pico. Enter, enter. Now we can configure Pico address, the terminal address 32, as private or shared. So we have to configure shared. We use only one terminal, so we can leave the other to none. Yes, and then enter. So the configuration is saved in the memory of the controller. I have to repeat for the other, so up, down, enter. This time I select PIC address 2. You can ignore the buzzer. Also for PIC address 2, I have to use the terminal 32 as shared, so that's good. Terminal 2 not used, none, yes, and save the configuration in the memory. So now the PLAN is configured.